Do you know how many sides a square has? A seemingly simple question, yet it opens up a world of intriguing possibilities. This is where we dive into the fascinating realm of shapes. So let's ponder on that question for a moment. A square, as you may well know, has 4 sides, but not just any 4 sides. They are all equal in length, forming perfect right angles at each corner. It's a shape that's as symmetrical as it gets. But remember, the square is just one member of a vast and varied family of shapes. Shapes, you see, are everywhere. They form the building blocks of our world, from the structure of the buildings we live in, to the design of the gadgets we use, right down to the layout of this very video. Shapes are integral to our lives. Now, can you spot a square in your surroundings? Did you find a square around you? Great job! Now what about a circle? Can you find a circle around you? As we embark on this grand adventure, it's time to train our eyes to see beyond colors, beyond sizes, and dive into the wonderful world of shapes that's scattered all around us. But first, let's understand what makes a shape a shape. Consider a circle, for instance. It's a shape that's perfectly round with no corners or edges, and every point on its boundary is an equal distance from the center. Now, let's play a little game. Can you spot something around you that resembles a circle? Take a moment, look around. Perhaps you spotted an orange on the kitchen counter or the face of a clock hanging on the wall. Yes, those are indeed circles. Or more accurately, they are objects that have a circular shape. You see, shapes are not just limited to what we draw on a piece of paper. They are an integral part of our environment, forming the basis of everything we see and touch. Now, let's move on to another common shape. A rectangle. It's a 4-sided figure where opposite sides are equal and corners form right angles. Look around. Can you find anything that resembles a rectangle? Maybe you notice the screen of your computer, or perhaps the front cover of a book? Yes, those are rectangles. You see, shapes aren't just abstract concepts that live inside textbooks. They are all around us, forming the building blocks of our world. They're in the buildings we live in, the vehicles we ride, the food we eat, and even in the stars we gaze at in the night sky. So whenever you look around, try to spot the shapes hidden in plain sight. It's a fun game and a fantastic way to understand the world around us a little better. Shapes are everywhere, aren't they? Let's continue our shape hunt. You've done an amazing job finding squares and circles, but what about triangles and rectangles? Can you find those too? Let's start with rectangles. They're like stretched out squares. They have 4 sides and 4 corners. But unlike squares, 2 sides are longer than the other 2. Think about your door. It's a rectangle, right? Or your favorite storybook. That's a rectangle too. Now let's talk about triangles. They're a little bit different. Triangles have 3 sides and 3 corners. Picture a slice of pizza or a mountain peak. Yep, those are triangles. So your challenge now is to find rectangles and triangles around you. Maybe your sandwich is a rectangle or your kite is a triangle. There are so many shapes hiding in plain sight. You're becoming a real shape detective. Keep looking for shapes everywhere you go. Wow, you've found so many shapes today. Let's take a moment to go over everything we've learned. We started with the square, a shape with 4 equal sides. Then we moved on to the circle, a shape with no corners but one continuous smooth edge. From there we explored the rectangle, similar to the square but with 2 long sides and 2 short ones. Finally, we learned about the triangle, a shape with 3 sides and 3 corners. Recognizing these shapes isn't just fun, it's also a way to better understand the world around us. Shapes are everywhere. In the buildings we see, the toys we play with, even in the food we eat. They help us make sense of our surroundings and add a little bit of structure to our everyday lives. Remember, the world is full of shapes waiting for you to discover them. So keep looking and keep learning. You did a fantastic job today.